Hi, I'm Christopher Knight, and this is Pork Chops and Applesauce, and today I'm being joined by Dr. Mitloehner, right?
Mm-hmm. Yes.
Here at UC Davis in California. Welcome. Thank you for joining me today, Doctor.
Well, thank you for having me.
So something that from your studies that I read that seemed to be very clear is that we have this explosion of industrialization. But people would say because of that intensification, the animal doesn't seem to be treated well.
I teach about 300 undergraduate students here at Davis. And I have students from Los Angeles, San Francisco, Sacramento, kids with no background in animal agriculture.
Like me.
So the only reference point they have when they think of animals is their dog or cat at home. And they don't even consider them as pets, they consider them as family members. So, and now they are actually confronted with livestock, let's say with calves, big eyes, floppy ears, looking very cute.
Looking very Disney. Yes.
And they compare that to their dog and cat at home and how they are treated it. Of course you can't do that. Livestock is a commodity, let's be honest about it, that will eventually be consumed. We will eventually eat it. I think everybody is clear about that. And so you can't treat them or house them the way you would your dog or cat. So what I can tell you is that the notion of livestock in a pastoral setting being kept more welfare friendly is wrong. Also the notion of that setting being better for the environment is wrong. And here's why. Think of the picture that you see when you see a creamery truck. What do you see on a creamery truck?
A rolling hillside and a dairy farm.
So that's the 1950 dairy, okay? That's not the dairy that we use today. That is not typical at all for today's practices. And the same is true for most of the other livestock and poultry systems. You cannot raise, let's say, egg-laying hens on pasture in an economically feasible way. And you don't want to raise them that way because there's nothing yummier in the world for predators than a chicken running around on pasture.
But the people that would tell us that that's the way we should raise our chickens are those who will pay.
I have news for you. When I take those 300 kids, my students, onto farms and ranches, I ask them to ask the farmers and ranchers what their profit margin is per unit of animals sold. So when we go to a swine farm, they find out that after 171 days of raising a pig, the farmer makes between $4 to $6 per pig. What is the profit for a carton of egg for the farmer? Most people think it might be $1. It's not, it's 5 cents. 5 cents. So the profit margin for farmers is so tiny, it is so tiny that it drives the way we produce food. That's true for crops, it's true for livestock, it's true for anything. We have to be very efficient because otherwise we cannot satisfy the market demands. And that is the reality. It is your viewers who determine how we produce food. And that leads us to a simple question. How do we ethically produce food without depleting all natural resources? I can tell you, and I've seen hundreds of farms, maybe thousands, I can tell you that the vast majority of farms that I've seen, yes, are very efficient. And yes, they are large in size. Most of them are. But when you show those to people, to normal consumers, those consumers will say, this is not what I thought a farm would look like. But now that I've seen it, I have really nothing to oppose to.
Well, and that's what we're trying to do here. Give our audience at home, those that aren't into farming or have any connection to farming, some understanding of where their food comes from. And I want to thank you today for joining us.
It makes me very happy. Thank you for coming, and I appreciate it.
Thank you, Doctor.
Thank you.
And that has been Pork Chops and Applesauce. Thank you for joining us.